Data lineage is a process of tracing the origin, transformations, and movement of data throughout its life cycle within a data platform, be it data lake or data warehouse systems. By understanding data lineage, data development teams can visualize how data flows through different sources. This visibility is crucial for maintaining data quality, ensuring regulatory compliance, and troubleshooting data issues effectively. For example, if a data quality issue arises, the team can use lineage information to quickly identify the source of the problem and any up or downstream impact. By providing a comprehensive understanding of data flows, data lineage empowers data development teams to manage data effectively and maintain trust in its accuracy and integrity. The main challenge is the most data platform don't have this feature built in. You have likely used many external tools to see the data lineage, but learning those tools takes a lot of time. Now, Snowflake has solved this by adding the feature directly. You can see all the data lineage visual right in the Snowsight web UI without needing other tools, and that's what we will learn in this quick and short video. So stay tuned until the end to learn how it works and what are the current limitations of this feature. Welcome to my channel Data Engineering Simplified, the only YouTube channel offering practical Snowflake video tutorials for both beginners and expert data professionals. If you are curious where you can find source code and the data files that are used in this tutorial, please find the link below in the description section. And before we proceed, a quick note. All the hands-on exercise are done using Snowflake's free trial Enterprise Edition hosted on AWS. I suggest watch this video in 4K resolution. And if you are a fast learner, considering speeding up the video to 1.25x or 1.5x. You can also change the language and listen the tutorial in your preferred language like German or Hindi. If you are looking to learn in a more structured way with complete source code and data files, be sure to check out my courses on Udemy, and some of them are also available through Udemy Business. All of my courses have a rating of 4.7 or higher. For queries, suggestions, or feedback, drop a direct message to my Instagram account. The link is given below. And yes, if you would like to stay updated on Snowflake new and popular features, end-to-end data engineering projects, architectural concept, live demo videos, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Data Engineering Simplified. So, let's start this tutorial. I am in my Snowsight web UI, and this is my first worksheet called Lineage CRM. I have already created a database called Data Lineage, and within that I have created a schema called CRM, and this is the stage location where I have already uploaded a couple of sample CSV file, and this is my file format. This is the customer table which has couple of information along with some tracking information. I'm going to run a copy command and load those CSV file into this table. Here I have customer from Europe, then I have customer from EMEA, and all these customer will be merged into my customer underscore global table. All those region specific customer data is having a similar structure, and this is how the data would look like finally, along with these audit columns. Now this is my copy command which would load the data into the customer table by running a select statement by following this stage location, copy command on customer underscore EU by following this same stage location with having a partition EU followed by customer -EU CSV file. This is my customer EMEA and same stage location, and this is the file, and this is the EMEA.csv file. Once it is done, I ran an insert statement and inserted the data into the customer underscore global table by adding USA as a source for customer underscore US table. Here, this is Europe from customer underscore EU table, and this is my EMEA data, and there are a couple of masking policy which I'm applying, and we will see how it appears when I'm going for my lineage tracking. Finally, I am creating a customer aggregation table by region which is referring the customer global table. Likewise, card provider aggregation which is also referring the customer global table. So these are the two views which is created on the top of customer global table. And this is a simple hypothetical scenario which I'm going to use to demonstrate how the lineage visual looks like. So these are my table. These are my views. This is my CRM stage, and this is the file format. If I click here on CRM stage, I have the data available. This is for Europe and this is for USA. Now let's go to one of the table. So let me click on customer underscore global. Now here there is an option called lineage, which is currently under preview. And if I click on this lineage button, this is my customer global, and this is my customer global, which is part of database lineage and schema CRM. And this customer global getting the data from three different tables: customer US, customer EU, and customer EMEA. Now there are two views which is created based on this customer global table, and I can use this plus and minus to zoom in and zoom out. Now if I click on this plus, the customer US gets the data from this CRM underscore stage location or stage object, but it does not show that it is getting from one of the partition. If I click on this is also getting the data from customer STG. And here if I click on customer EMEA, this table is also getting the data from CRM underscore STG. So I still get the plus icon, which shows that I may have some upstream object, but let me click on it. If it does not have any upstream object, then nothing appears here. Now, so there are two downstream. Now, customer region aggregate and card provider aggregate depends on customer global. And that's why I can see this two arrow, which is going from customer global to this view. And if I click on this plus icon, I do not have any downstream application. That's why this is not showing anything. Now here I have an option called show only dependencies. And right now we are focused on the customer global, which is primarily this particular table. Now here if I click on this small tooltip icon, it says show only object that depends on each other for correct operation and data derivation. Toggle it. The page gets reloaded and it only shows the dependencies because these are the two views which depend on global customer. If you see these aggregated views, it is primarily running a group by clause and source as a region and count on a customer ID. Likewise, source as a region, card provider as a card provider, and count customer ID as a number of customers. So when I click on this card provider aggregation, here it brings all the column which is part of this view. And if I know the card provider and the number of customers are coming from my customer global table. So if I hover into this column name and click on a button called view dependencies appears. Let me click on view dependencies. Now I do not have any other downstream object which depends on this view, and that's why this is empty. However, when I click on this upstream dependencies, let's see what happens. So it says the customer number is coming from the customer global table and this is mapped to customer ID. So we applied a count operation on the customer ID to get the total number of customers. Now here also you can see there is a distance, in the sense this customer ID and this number of customers are having a distance value 1. Now if you hover onto this tooltip, it says downstream distance from the source object. Here you can get a different filter, and if you have a lot of columns, you can search. Here you can see tags and masking policy, okay? And this will also appear here on your target column. Now, if I click on this, I have customer and region, and let me click on this region view. We know there is no downstream dependencies, so let me click on upstream. So this also looks good. The region is coming from this source, from the global customer. Okay, looks good. And you can hover and it will show you the data type and all other related information. Now I will toggle back and here I will go to the customer information, and let's go to this first name and click on the view lineage. So no downstream lineage. If I click on upstream lineage, now this first name in customer global is nothing coming from three different object, and this is my US customer, European customer, and EMEA customer. So this is how you can track the lineage where this first name is being populated. Now if I go to the source, I can see the information in downstream lineage because source column is being used in two different views. So there are two objects which are referring to this source column from customer global. If I click on upstream, source column is not coming from anywhere because source column is a part of insert statement, and that's why I do not have. Likewise, if I go to this audit field, let's see whether I get upstream detail or not. Yes, I have upstream detail for these columns. Now, if I click on gender and click on upstream lineage, there is PII tag, and that's why this PII tag is appearing, and there is a masking policy. And here also you can see the PII tag available, and since there is no masking policy is not visible. And the gender is coming from these three different table. This is very, very important because if you see that you have a masking policy applied on upstream or a downstream lineage, however, those tags or policies are not applied from the data governance point of view, you can observe those missing tag or missing masking policies and accordingly take an action. So this is one of the advantage of having your lineage visible within the Snowflake data platform. I am going to show you another scenario where alongside my internal stage, I also have an external stage. And this is an external table, and this external table is created by using this external stage. But if you notice that this external table is not referring to the external stage, okay, and then I made some changes, then I created a second view, then I made the changes, and then I created my third view. Whenever I recreated this view, this entire history is tracked this lineage tab, which is an interesting observation which I haven't seen in any other tool. So if I just click on this, it still shows that, looks good. When I hover on this small tooltip, it says this object has been deleted and will be retained for 14 days. Okay. However, you won't be able to see any column here, but when I click here, it shows all the column. And let's say I click on this view lineage. I have an upstream lineage. Here I can see I have a priority and I have a value. And this value is nothing but a variant data type. So even though it is a one-to-one mapping, but we all know that value is an implicit object within external table. And if you are not very familiar how the external table works, I would request you to go and watch this particular video to get a complete understanding about the external table. Now here I have another scenario where a table is created from the stage location, but the stage location is deleted and it still captures this detail, and this detail would be retained for 14 days. Now, if I go to this views and I have a shipment view and all those things. So if I click on this views, I still get a lineage, and let me click on this lineage. So this priority aggregated shipment view is created on this view. Okay. So let me click on this view. Now we can see the complete lineage. This is my external table. This is my view. And on the top of this view, there are two additional view created, which is called priority aggregated view and state aggregated view. And let me click on this plus icon. So I do not have any downstream object, and that's why. And if I click on this, and let's say I want to understand where is this average profit per order coming from, I can click on the view lineage. So I'm expect obviously no downstream lineage. Click on upstream lineage. So this is the distance 1 and this is my distance 2. And we know that value is an implicit object within my external table. So I can ignore this. So this is coming from my shipment external table. Then I have this shipment view, and this is also the shipment view. So the question is that why it is coming two times. So this is coming from here and this is coming from here. So if your order is coming from two different columns, this will appear twice. But actually this is just one single entity. And this is slightly confusing for me because I could not understand that I am using just one aggregation, but I am getting two entries because this entry is mapped to this respective input field. And that's why it looks like this. Now let's talk about another example from my end-to-end data project, which I published some time back in my Udemy course. And this is all about air quality. So if you look into this, here I have an aggregated table, and this aggregated fact is populated based on these three different tables. Two of them are dimension table and one is a fact table. Now let's see how many columns this object has. So it has total 13 columns and 6,147 rows. So all the details are available and these are my average things. So let's see if I have to check where the city values are coming from. I assume the city values should come from either the location table, but let's check that. So I do not have any downstream lineage. When I click on upstream lineage, so I see this city column from my aggregated table. The first distance is this location dim, looks good, and this is the city column, and this city column is being populated from this another table under a clean schema. This is my second distance, and then this city is also coming from this clean AQI DT table, which is also in the clean schema. Looks good. I do not have any tag, neither I have any masking policy applied. Looks good. Let me see what information does it give. If I say, so the search function works across the data set, so you can search anything. Now, if I try to see how this PM10 average coming, now let me click on this view lineage, going to upstream lineage. So I also have total 3 entries, which I was expecting. So this is clean schema, and consumption schema. And this is a column for which I want to see the lineage. And this is my distance 1, 2, and 3. And I can see all of them are coming from the same database. I have consumption and clean schema. And here it is coming from fact table. Here it is coming from another flattened table. And here it is coming from another table, right? And if you see, the names are different here. Now, this data set is coming from one of the stage location. This lineage still does not support couple of operations. That's why I cannot see the complete lineage. And if you have populated data running a copy command, then you should be able to see everything. But let's go to this clean AQI DT and see where this data is coming from. So here I have this detail, and let me see where is this pollutant average. So it's taking some time. If you look, the pollutant average is a column. And if you look into the downstream lineage, so from this pollutant average, so many other columns are being populated. I do not have any detail on my upstream lineage. However, there is a connection between these two, raw AQI and this clean lineage, because it is populated, because this has a variant column. So you see here, this has a variant column. We use a flatten function to populate this clean AQI DT from the raw AQI, and that's what it is not able to build that connection appropriately. And if I try to see the lineage for this JSON data, here I do not have any record. Okay, so since it is in a preview, there are few operations still not supported and not captured by this lineage. However, it gives you a good amount of information and you don't need to use any external tool. Now, it is not necessary that you have to always go and check the lineage from your web UI screen. You can also run a query, and there is a table function which is available in your Snowflake core schema, And the name of this table function is called getLineage, where you will provide the name of the database, schema, and the table. And this is a table type, and you say downstream or upstream, and up to what level you would like to see the lineage. However, you need to make sure that either you should have a lineage role or you should use the account admin to check the lineage. Now let me switch the role first. So it is changed successfully. Now I am going to run this statement. So I can see my source object is table, and this is my schema name, and here it says customer US and customer global, right? And this is the information. So I want to see the downstream object which depends on my customer US. Global is my first object, and then on customer global there are two other object is dependent, which is my aggregated views, right? So this is how I can run that. But if I, instead of downstream, if I give upstream, let's give it to 1 and rerun the query. Now I can see my customer underscore US table depends on this stage location, which is called CRM stage, right? This is one way of finding your lineage. You can also come and run a query on your getLineage table function by providing the name of the object, type of the object, whether you want to get downstream or upstream lineage, and the level, and you will be able to fetch all the detail as expected. I hope you found this demo valuable. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review some key points we covered, including the limitations of the Snowflake lineage feature. This might help you in your Snowflake implementation or SnowPro certification journey. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video informative. If you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Happy learning and keep growing.